So this is what I constantly try to recommend that everyone watch. And this is an episode from season one on Black Mirror. Okay, you can watch it on Netflix. So in this episode, as you can see, it tells you right there, a young lawyer basically has a chip implanted behind his ear and it allows him to store memories, right? Now, related to my experience in my targeting and also awakening, right? The idea is that this episode is really showing you what kind of world we live in. Okay, because where did they get that idea from? Yes, because this is what the majority of the people in this world can do. I can't do this. I cannot rewind and see what someone's done. I can't tap into the cloud and know everything about someone else's life or what they've been doing to be able to comment on it in the street or anything like this. But an overwhelming amount of all of the individuals you see walking around in this little reality can do this. And they do not need a chip. Okay. Now, when I was awakening, I was thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, maybe this is because of the graphene or those people that got the, you know what, during COVID. I was like, maybe they got like some kind of superpower and this is why they wanted everybody to get it or something. I was thinking it was like something like this. No, granted, that probably also did something to maybe upgrade them. I'm just saying that they could always do this. But like I said in another video, I know people who did not have anything done, did not put anything in their body, and they definitely demonstrated that they knew certain aspects of things happening around me that they shouldn't really know. And that's why I'm telling you that they don't need a telephone. They pretend that like they're looking at their telephones as if like that's like, they're watching something about you. I also went through the phase of thinking it was something on the dark web about me. No, then later on, I've seen them, just been, on the train and all that, reading a magazine, and then saying something like they saw something, that happened to me or whatever, and they commented on it. So I know they don't need any gizmo because they are like a walking gizmo. You know what I mean? Like they have the device in them to pick up on the cloud, whatever this reality is, whatever this simulation is versus who I guess us chosen ones are in the spirit. I've heard all the different comments about being like star seeds, interdimensional souls. Um, I just saw another video on TikTok of a woman saying something about the CIA released a file about supposedly like superhumans or whatever that I don't know. We have like souls like that they try to drain us and they can tap into us and they can like we're all connected on some kind of cloud, which isn't really that far out there because if you know all the stuff that Sabrina Wallace is investigating, obviously they could be tracking certain souls from birth. But back to the point of this episode. um and then there's another one that shows like supposedly like that in a lot of these Black Mirror episodes that like they put chips and all. No, we live in a reality that this is actually the norm, and this is why I say like they have to know whom we are. They have to know, if it's like a Truman Show where they watch our lives, like they have to know which one of us are not like them. You know what I mean? And this is why I get upset because I'm like, so these folks, because I was asleep. I was asleep. I didn't know how this world actually functioned. I was under the impression that it was a certain way. And then you wake up and you realize, oh my gosh, it's not. But these folks have just been going along with everything happening in this world. And I know, like, yes, like they might feel fear about the Matrix and about trying to go against, the grain and all that. But the world being the way that it is, and these folks just, I guess, be knowing everything and seeing everything. I don't know how it works. I don't know if maybe, like I said, some of us that have a different kind of soul, I don't know how they interact with us versus with each other as far as how much information they're able to pick up. I don't know all of those kind of details. And I do think like this Christmas, we went to midnight mass because I like to do certain traditional things. I don't mind. And I had to take my tablet with me to take pictures because I don't have a smartphone. And like, they definitely know exactly the moment that you walk out in the street and you're walking with some kind of device. They notice the difference. And they know when I don't have my phone. So when I do have my tablet device, I think like they can probably see more things. I don't know. And like I said, I always said that you need to go within a radius of them and that they could pick up certain information. But I do think that also, in general, they something is just being broadcast worldwide. You know what I mean? Because I know, and I'm telling you, I told you my mom's narcissistic on that verge of being diabolical, and she was acting type strange, saying certain things that there was no way she would have known. And she was never injected with anything. And not only her, but other people, in my family that I was noticing. And that's when you start to wake up like, oh my gosh, you've been raised and surrounded by people who are not what you thought they were. Anyways, um, but yeah, and I know that that isn't like brand new. I know a lot of people always say, well, yeah, we're surrounded by NPCs. Um, but the difference between, like I said, what I always say, at least in my version of this reality, I do feel that the ones that have spark, they are my brothers and sisters in Christ. They just might not have the kind of old soul that I am, but they have something of God. They have something of God, and hopefully my light activates that spark in them, I guess. I guess that's what we're supposed to be doing down here, I guess. Um, but yeah, this episode, back to this episode, is the one that I always recommend. And this is the one I always talk about. And this is basically how they're able to know things, see what you've done. There's nothing per se posted where you will find it, whether in the normal web or on the dark web. It's all related to their consciousness interacting with your consciousness. Whatever consciousness that they have for this reality, tapping into your higher source consciousness. So, yeah, so that's all. I just wanted to make sure that you guys, if you're ever interested in watching this episode, you can. And this explains a lot of how this, how the Truman Show aspect of watching our lives works.